What's up guys, Sam Rebels Off-Road. We will be unboxing, installing, and giving a review on Class 1 Motorsports rear skid plate for the Kawasaki KRX. Stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this one.
Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning.
Okay, so we've received the package and we're going to go right in and unbox it. Now, something tells me that this is going to be one of the fastest unboxing videos we've ever had on Rebels Off-Road, and I'm going to show you why right now. Ta-da! Yep. So the skid plate actually ships without boxes or protection. They do this to cut down on cost to you because it is a skid plate. It's meant to protect your KRX's transmission and motor. This is pretty solid and it's going to get scratched up anyways. It's going to have dings, it's going to have scuffs, and it's meant to be sandwiched between your frame and your aftermarket or your factory skid plate. So this is not going to be shown on the machine in most cases. Of course, there's going to be some scuff marks from shipping without a box or any type of protection. It's going to be some little, scratches and stuff like that. But this skid plate is meant to be used. So I don't mind at all that it's shipped like this, bare aluminum. So before we get too far into this video, let's go check out the back of the Kawasaki KRX, and I'll show you exactly why this is a must-have upgrade for the protection of your Kawasaki and how it could save you a lot of time, effort, and money by installing this upgrade. Coming to the back of the KRX, and we're going to be looking down there where the differential and transmission is. So if you see up in there, there's not much space between the transmission and the pan right in here. It's like basically a finger.
For those of you who have never seen a ruler, this is what a ruler looks like.
And then on the side back there, it's even less. It doesn't take much for this thin sheet metal to bend and make contact with the case up there, and then you're gonna have a lot of damage. So we've been up here in West Virginia, only took it on one trail ride so far, and we already have gotten the scrapes and little dings and stuff like that, which has started to deform this sheet metal. I know the more we use this machine, the more dented this will get, and the closer it will get to the transmission and to the motor. Also, if you come back farther, it starts to be just plastic. With this new skid plate, it also protects this area here, which the motor is right there. So if you take a look at the bottom of your KRX and you see those scrape marks, you already know you're making contact with something that could potentially bend that skid plate down there. Even if you have a skid plate on there, you have a plastic skid plate from the factory or an aftermarket skid plate, this still is a vulnerable spot because while those skid plates will absorb some of the impact, if you come down hard on a rock or a log or something like that, it still has the potential of bending. Those skid plates flex very easily as well, and your thin sheet metal skid plate that's provided by the factory sometimes just won't hold up, and it will bend and make contact with the case. And when it makes contact with the case has a very strong potential of cracking in those areas.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
And once the case is cracked, it's a very, very expensive repair to get that fixed.
Sure, I'll just put it on my credit card. I'm never gonna pay it back anyway. Cause I have $30,000 in credit card debt.
Even if it's under warranty, even if you get your dealership to pay for it, you won't be able to ride for a very long time because your machine will be in the shop, waiting on parts, waiting on the labor. It's really not worth the risk. Now, I want to take a closer look at this skid plate right here. This is 6061 aircraft grade aluminum. It is flat, as you might notice, and we will show you how to install it so that it goes on seamlessly. Now, the thickness of this is 3/16. Now that's pretty thick, but it's also more lightweight than say an 1/8 of an inch steel plate. So you get lightweight and this really heavy duty thickness out of this aluminum plate. You might notice that it has these big holes here. Those are for your factory drain holes. And these holes here line up with factory holes as well. So you're able to use hardware and it should all line up perfectly for your machine. To save costs, they do not ship it with any hardware. The thought is that you might already have a skid plate with hardware and this is going to sandwich in between them so you can reuse that hardware. Also, it's not that hard to go to the hardware store and pick up the hardware that you'll need, and you can use your preference of hardware. I am going to be using grade 8, just regular bolts. Now in my case, I don't have an aftermarket or the factory skid plate yet, so this will be installed as a standalone unit until I can get those aftermarket skid plates that I want, which will work for that as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these shipping labels off real quick, and we will cut to the install. Now we're gonna talk about the tools that we need to get this skid plate installed. So first up on the list, we need some hardware. I am gonna be using 1/4-20 grade 8 bolts. These are 1 inch long, and I'm gonna be using some flat washers and flange nuts. Now this is the case where you can use different types of fasteners. If you want to use metric, you can. Also, if you already have hardware because you already have a skid plate installed, you can reuse that fastener. Possibly you might just have to get a little bit longer of the same type of fastener. You will need 9 bolts and nuts, essentially, if you go this route. You will need your tools to secure the hardware. These are a couple different sizes because I have a couple different sizes of the hex head. Right now, I'm gonna be using 11mm, and this is 3/8. So, socket wrench. You also need a box wrench to hold the nut up on the top side. Since I'm going with 1/4-20, I'm gonna be using a drill and a 1/4 inch drill bit to drill out the holes, and your basic floor jack, and that's about it. These holes are drilled out to, I would say, about 3/8, but we're using 1/4-20 bolts. That should be plenty. Plus we have to drill out the machine already, so this will work. So we're gonna grab the tools, grab the skid plate, take it into the shop, and show you the install. Now the first step is gonna be drill out some holes. So we got our drill set up right now, and we're gonna get to it. I'll show you where we're gonna be drilling out. So if you come under the machine right here, you'll see there are holes right here and right here. And they have nuts on the top, but I believe they're metric. We're gonna go ahead and drill those out. And then if you move down, you'll also see there's ones right here and also right here. We're gonna drill those out. And then following down the machine, one right here and one way over there. Get those drilled out, and then we will move on to the next step. Now on this one, you want to be careful not to puncture your axle boot there. It is pretty much right above it. Just be aware. So I got those 6 holes drilled out to the 1/4 inch diameter, and now we're gonna place the skid plate up into position and bolt it in. As I mentioned, the skid plate is shipped flat, and there is a little bit of a curve to the bottom of the rig at the end. I'm gonna show you how it's simply bent into place to be very conformal at the end right now. So you'll notice that there's these big holes right there, and you might notice that they're actually offset a little bit. This is the direction that we want them in right here, and they match directly up with the KRX drain holes. So we're gonna slide this under here. First up, we want to do is take and match up these bolt holes to the ones we drilled out right here and right here. So it's gonna be a little hard to see, but we're gonna take the jack to help elevate the skid plate, get it lined up at the angle that we need it to be in. In my case, we're gonna be using a flange nut and a washer. Put it through. So,
Look at the size of that boy's head. I'm not kidding, it's like an orange on a toothpick.
we're just gonna line up that first hole and
Head, move!
that hardware to go in through there like that. We're gonna be taking our flange nut, and this part's a little bit tricky. There's not much room in there to get your fingers. Should be able to work it into place. Now, a trick that you can use to get at some of these harder to reach places that you need to place your nuts is I take a little piece of painter's tape, set your hardware into the box wrench, and place that painter's tape on the top. Work it down in there so it's contacting the nut, and then you have your nut held in place, and you can just maneuver it in there until you start to tighten it down, and then the wrench will be able to be removed easily because it's just a little tacky painter's tape is all it is. Now, once you've gotten these 2 bolts started, we're gonna snug them up, but don't fully tighten them yet. Now we're gonna move on to looking at these 2 here and here. And what we wanna do is make sure the holes line up perfectly. And we're gonna go ahead and put it through it, and look at that. It's already good to go. We're actually gonna come up top side, install the nut loosely for that one, and that will just guide this plate when we bend it up. Now that these two bolts are kind of snugged up, but not really tightened yet, we are going to make sure that the whole thing is once again aligned for the next two holes, and then we are going to tighten these down all the way. Basically, there's going to be a gap between, you can see it, this hole and the mating hole there. What we want to do is get under this hole and kind of eyeball it, make sure that it's going to go straight up to meet that hole, and you're going to do the same thing on that other side. With these not being completely tight, you got to make sure that all these holes line up before you start bending. And so there is a little bit of wiggle room still left. Putting these in do align it, I would say about 95% of the way, if not a little bit more. But out of abundance of caution, before you start bending this, you just want to make sure that these are going to line up. Basically, you get up under here and we're going to look and see if we can see the mating hole. Probably won't be able to see it on this video because of the lighting, but right now they are lining up almost exactly perfectly. So we are ready to go ahead and tighten up these two bolts. All right, now we are going to start tightening up those two bolts there. And when we do, it will actually start to bend around this little corner here. We're actually gonna jack up on the jack while we do it, so it bends this plate a little bit. So we want to alternate in between the two hardware so that we bend it evenly. And also, that's the reason why the jack should be set up in the center of the skid plate as well. And by now, those holes should be lined up enough that you can get the third set of hardware in. And same thing with this one, you want to alternate back and forth on sides. Now that you got the third set of hardware in, you can actually lower the jack because it is bent into place. Now, of course, this hardware that I selected does hang down a little bit. If you plan on only using this skid plate, I would suggest a low profile head, maybe a cap head screw with a rounded or a countersunk head on it so that you get that smooth lines. But this will work just fine for me for now. And now we're gonna move on to the last set of hardware. Now, you might have remembered I did not drill out these last holes yet. I wanted to make sure the skid plate all lined up properly before I did that. And actually, if you look, they are perfectly aligned. These holes are right on the money. Class 1 Motorsports did a really good job of placing these holes, even with the bends. So we're gonna go ahead and get those drilled out. For these holes here, there is a nut on the top, similar to what we had on those first hardware there. So we're gonna have to drill through that nut. It's a little bit more difficult. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and we will cut to the rest of the hardware installed.
A few moments later.
Okay, so the skid plate is all installed. And you can see the coverage area here and how nice it looks. So similar to competing brands, this skid plate covers this transmission area that is vulnerable. The skid plate really beefs it up in that area. What the other brands don't do is continue past this bend here into this area over here, which is where the engine is. So that's a benefit because it has more coverage area, and it's made out of 6061 aluminum, which is lighter weight, and it can be a thicker material because of that. So that's two advantages right there that it has over the competition. Also, you might think that because it's shipped flat, that the bends in this material are gonna be not contacting the body. But if you follow the instructions that I laid out, look how nice and tight it is up into the chassis. There's not really any gaps there. Now, before I forget, let's talk about the cost of this skid plate. The cost of this skid plate is right in line with the competition that also doesn't have as much coverage area as this one and is made out of powder coated steel, which will rust and not as thick or as lightweight as this 6061 aluminum. So really, if you're gonna spend the same amount of money on a skid plate, you might as well get better coverage area as well as thicker and potentially stronger material. The other thing I wanted to note is the customer service of Class 1 Motorsports is second to none. I reached out to the owner, Daniel, and he quickly responded to my questions when it came to this skid plate. He immediately sent me pictures. He was just a really friendly, good guy. It is a small business based in the US, which is also a great benefit. If you're on the market for a skid plate, I definitely suggest a rear skid plate. I'm gonna put a link down in the description where you can check out this skid plate and other products from Class 1 Motorsports. If you're on the market for a skid plate, I highly suggest you check out this one. All right, that's it for today's video. You can check out another great video right here. Go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time.
Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning.